Namo Myoho Renge Kyo, Namo Myoho Renge Kyo, Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. Welcome, everyone. Hi, friends. Thank you for your practice. Thank you for being here. I hope this finds you in good circumstances, good health. Today, we're going to talk about suchness. That's a big topic, suchness. I will preface the book entry here with the idea that I've talked a lot with you about time, about moment-to-moment instantiations of potential, right? The engine of life. So if you're understanding that, if you're getting that, here's another dimension to it. You can add yet another word talking about the same thing in Buddhism, but from a different perspective. Remember, we're taught from all of the teachings that we have this problem in samsara with the mind of attachment, of possession, of holding on to things, of making permanent, of thingifying, right? We've created our own words on top of the Buddhist terminology. And so that kind of thinking identifies things as that's what that is, and that's what it always is. As Buddhists, we open our Buddha mind, our Buddha wisdom, we understand that everything, you, me, living, non-living, anything, is a constantly rebirthing, a remaking of the same thing over and over and over again, because everything's in momentum. So whatever constructs something, right, down below the atomic level, it is actually not static. It is constantly changing, right? And for the most part, many things, they don't appear different, but our eyes can't see down to below an electron microscope, right? So we see things kind of superficially. And that's okay. That's samsara. That's what we live in. That's what we work in, right? A lot of useful aspects to that. But in our minds, we are capable of understanding a different reality, a deeper reality. Why would we do that, you might say? Because by understanding that deeper reality, we can divest ourselves of our emotional tendons, attachments that causes stress and anxiety. That's the purpose of Buddhism, right? So, our enlightenment comes as a result of redefining our relationship mentally with the world. So rather than seeing something as that is that, you are you, those are those, suchness is kind of an interesting word. Because when you superimpose suchness on something, what you're saying is it has a tendency and conditions. It appears this way consistently over and over again. It's suchness, right? It has these qualities, characteristics, so on and so forth. What you're not doing is saying that is such always. What you're saying, it has a suchness, this tendency, condition. It's a different way of looking at the same thing. So as a tool for our better perception of the world around us, suchness isn't a good term, a helpful term. Now, it just so happens, we didn't invent it, this has been in the sutras for thousands of years. It's just been called by other things. So, we're going to dig into it a little bit, what suchness is, and the 10 suchnesses, which you may already recognize as I say that. We recite them every day in Gongyo. So let's get into it. Suchness, a noun. 1, true nature of things as impermanent. empty of self-nature and existing only in moment-to-moment instantiations of energetic potential and influences. See karma. 2. A condition of all phenomena clearly experienced through the sentient mind when in the state of Buddhahood. It becomes really obvious, apparent, right? Because we divest ourselves of the obstacles for seeing that truth. The obstacles being our attachments, our possession, our holding on to, our clinging. Yeah? And 3, the constantly moving activity of arising, decay, and dissolution in all things. Formations and quantum fluctuations in quantum fields to the entirety of the universe, moment to moment. That's a big word, suchness, right? You wouldn't think it on first reading, but the implications, specifically for us and our Buddhist practice, wow. All right. Also known as the 10 factors, you can see the 10 factors in here. We're going to go through them. These are the aspects of instantiations of all phenomena that our samsaric mind uses to form attachments and clinging through identification and discriminations. When observed and experienced as the true nature of their fundamental impermanence and emptiness, non-substantiation, this perception is called Buddha-ness. Okay? So, the 10 suchnesses. In Chinese pinyin, shirushi. In Japanese, romanized, junyoze. Sound familiar? They are a Mahayana doctrine, which is important as well as unique to that of the Tendai and Nichiren doctrine of the Lotus Sutra, or Buddhist schools of thought. The doctrine is derived from a passage found in the 2nd chapter of Kumarajiva's Chinese translation of the Lotus Sutra that characterizes, quote, the ultimate reality, literally real mark, of all dharmas in terms of 10 suchnesses. Everything, quote unquote, every formation into form has these 10 factors, these suchnesses. Everything. This concept is also known as the 10 reality aspects, or the 10 factors of life, or the reality of all existence. Whichever way you slice it, it's a paradigm shift in the way we experience samsara, yeah? Kumarajiva translates the passage in chapter 2 of the Lotus Sutra as only a Buddha with another Buddha, or Buddhas, can exhaust their reality, namely the suchness of the dharmas, the suchness of their marks, the suchness of their nature, the suchness of their powers, the suchness of their functions, the suchness of their causes, the suchness of their conditions, the suchness of their effects, the suchness of their repercussions, and the absolute identity of their beginning and end. The consistency, yeah? The following definitions describe what each suchness means in more detail. Appearance, the form, marks. The attributes of everything that is discernible, such as color, shape, or behavior, right? Everything, even a quark, even though it's a theoretical, unobserved particle, quote unquote, a realm, a form of energy, manifest, yes, it can be clearly defined. So appearance, nature is the second one, obviously. The inherent disposition or quality of a person or thing that cannot be discerned from outward appearance. Behavior, you know. How does the electron behave? Entity or embodiment. The substance of life that permeates as well as integrates both appearance and nature. The karmic momentum, yeah? How are you forming? Momentum is key here because nothing is static, remember? The above three suchnesses describe the reality of life itself. The next seven suchnesses, from the fourth through the 10th, explain the functions and workings of life. The engine of life, if you will. So the next one is power or potency, life's potential energy, right? There's always potential. It's just a matter of instantiation. Influence or functions. Interesting that functions is defined as influence, right? Because what functions in the engine of life? The 3,000 realms in a single thought moment, right? The influences of all potential affect in certain tendencies and conditions, formations to behave and instantiate in certain parameters, yeah? Tendencies and conditions. It's a very basic engine, but it's hugely powerful, yeah? Efforts made consciously or unconsciously, affecting the momentum, tendencies, and conditions of our karma. Internal cause, we've heard that before. Also primary cause. The potential cause in life that produces an effect of the same quality as itself, i.e. good, bad, or neutral, manifestations of karma or repercussions of karma, yeah? Relation, the secondary cause or influence. The relationship of secondary indirect causes to the internal cause, right? You want to do something, and the choices you have run through your mind faster than you can see them all, and you decide upon, I'm going to have the hot dog. And that decision, whether you're aware of it or not, because you seem totally in control in samsara, and I have decided to have a hot dog, is informed by your epistemology, right? Previous choices, what you know is in the fridge, what your stomach is growling for, what your taste buds suddenly are, and your brain and your mind all connecting things, and a memory of you looked outside, you saw a field of grass, and you remember going to a circus, and man, those hot dogs, I'm going to have a hot dog. You don't necessarily break it down in all of that dialogue, but that's what's happening in your mind, yeah? That's relation. Makes sense. Latent effect, or effect. The dormant effect produced in life when an internal cause is activated through its related conditions. The influence of intent, right? How does intent come about? It also is formed of previous and a whole lineage of rapid fire influences, right? 3,000 realms in a single thought moment. It's amazing when you start to dissect this, you start to feel like, man, am I even in control of my life? Well, that's kind of the point, isn't it? And manifest effect, a recompense or repercussions, the tangible, perceivable effect that emerges in time as an expression of a dormant effect, and therefore a potential cause, again, through its related conditions or repercussions, the functions of karma manifesting, right? With all of its innumerable filters. And then finally, consistency from beginning to end, or complete fundamental whole. The unifying factor among the 10 suchnesses. It indicates that all of the other 9 suchnesses, from appearance to manifest effect, are constantly interrelated and interpenetrating, just like everything else, yeah? And all 9 suchnesses thus harmoniously express the same condition of existence at any given moment. Now see the engine of life. All right. Just as the 10 worlds, the interpenetration of all these suchnesses or factors, all are discriminations of the greater process or components of the process of the 3,000 realms in a single thought moment of life. See 3,000 realms. You may also recognize these 10 factors from your daily recitation of the Hoben chapter portion of Gongyo, repeated 3 times at the end of the first part of Gongyo. Why do you think that is? Now, there's a lot of 3s in Buddhism, right? Could it be the 3 bodies of Buddha? Or could it be the 3 realms of life of the 3,000 realms? That multiplier. More likely, yeah? Shoi, shoho, nyoze, so, nyoze, sho, nyoze, tai, nyoze, reki, nyoze, sa, nyoze, in, nyoze, en, nyoze, ka, nyoze, ho, nyoze, honmaku, kyoto. The 10 suchnesses. And that's it. Not that difficult to talk about. Much more interesting and endlessly challenging to really grasp the profundity of that. Right? This is what we're opening up to our mind for observation, for understanding, for incorporating in our mind of experience Buddha-ness, yeah? Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. I so greatly appreciate your participation, your practice. Please take a few seconds to like and subscribe. It's a bodhisattva act to help expand the Sangha and reach more people. And if they're useful and you can make use of them, the ebooks available through threefoldlotus.com or lulu.com. It helps support the channel, and this is no small endeavor. Believe me, if any of you have tried it, you know. And patrons, we owe you a tremendous debt of gratitude. Thank you. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. Patreon, PayPal, yeah. In the meantime, I hope you all are kind to yourselves. Take care of your health. Take care of your loved ones, your friends. Stay safe. Keep your practice strong. Savor it. And I'll see you in the next one, okay? Bye for now.